One guy that I'm extremely excited about for the rest of the season is Tank Dell out of Houston. I think in general, the Houston receivers are trending in the right direction. I think that Tank Dell is going to be one of the steals of the season that comes off the waiver wire. I like Nico Collins to finish at a higher position than Tank Dell, but I think that they're both going to be top 25 wide receivers with the way Stroud is throwing the ball around. If you're looking for a solid flex play or a low end wide receiver too, then I'd be looking to target Tank Dell as he's going to be much cheaper to acquire than Nico Collins will. Tank Dell attended the University of Houston, and now he plays for the Houston Texans, and he's quickly becoming a fan favorite. Stroud was also very vocal with the front office of the Texans. They needed to go out and grab Tank Dell in the third round. I also do want to mention for you sick fucks out there that Tank Dell was picked 69 in last year's draft. That is huge.
Oh my
For
god.
all of these reasons, I think that Tank Dell is going to be fantasy relevant for the rest of the season. What do y'all think?
Yeah, so I do like Tank Dell. I think he's going to be a good player. The thing is, though, he's going to be, for me, he's going to be very boomer bust. You know, he's going to have big plays, and then I just have a feeling there's going to be plenty of games where he's not going to hit. So I view him as a flex play for the rest of the season, but I think he has a high ceiling. I also think he has a pretty low floor.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as Sap. Nico Collins is looking amazing. CJ Stroud is looking amazing. Tank Dell looks good too. But I think he's going to be boomer bust. I wouldn't call him a top 25 guy, but bye weeks are coming up, so you got to do what you got to do. Tank Dell might be in the flex, and he might pay off for you.
Yeah, I like him the rest of the season. I mean, anybody in the Houston passing offense that's seeing significant work from Stroud is going to be fantasy viable for the rest of the season. He's going to be a flex guy you can put in every week if you want, or sub in any wide receiver 2 spot during bye weeks. Since you got him off the waivers, you probably wouldn't have drafted him. If you did draft him, he would have been like a last round pick kind of guy. You're loving the kind of production he's putting up. So I think he'll continue to put up boom bust weeks throughout the season, and he's going to be a guy you're going to want on your team.
Juice, who do you think's trending in the right direction the rest of the year?
Yeah, man, a guy I'm excited about moving forward is Brian Robinson. He was one of those 8th or 9th round picks that I think is really paying off for you. I mean, week 1, 14 points, week 2, 29, week 3, 7 against Buffalo, and last week 13 against Philly. I think he is a certified running back 2, middle of the pack guy. Moving forward, he's a every week start. I would call him your poor man's David Montgomery. He already has 4 touchdowns on the season. He's catching a couple balls here and there, and the offense is moving better than expected. So I'll take the guy who's going to be getting the goal line carries and majority of the rushing work in that offense.
Yeah, I like him too. And it's just like where you drafted him to just makes it even sweeter. I mean, we're not talking about super high end guy. Like you said, he's like a middle of the pack RB2 or whatever. But just considering where you got him is a hell of a deal. And really kind of threw you for a loop because you didn't know exactly which way this backfield was going to be trending this year. I do like him going forward, though, for sure.
Yeah, I think that I was more excited about him after weeks 1 and week 2. I've kind of cooled off on him after his week 3 and week 4. With that being said, for where you drafted him, I think you have nothing to worry about with Brian Robinson. I think he's going to be, especially with the way the running back position is shaping up. I mean, like, we're talking about Devon Achane is arguably a top 5 running back right now. I mean, the running back market is just fucked. So whenever you have a guy like Brian Robinson, who you drafted in the 8th or 9th round, you got to feel good about it. I mean, would I take guys like, James Cook over him? Like, yeah, probably so. But I'm not hating on Brian Robinson at all.
Yeah, I like Brian Robinson the rest of the season just along with y'all guys. I think you could drafted him in the later rounds. He's paying off. He's going to be a solid guy you can plug in your lineup with confidence every week just due to the workload that he's getting. I mean, volume is king when it comes to RBs. I do think he's going to be good, but I think since the RB market is very fucked, like you said, Jay, I think if he has like another boom week or two, he can be a guy that you could probably see if you can package and see if you can trade up to get a real stud. Depending on your team, I mean, if you've had a 3-1 start or something like that, or if you had maybe a 2-2 start, but you're like leading your league in points, you can do that. Now, maybe if your team is looking rough, you might want to hold on to him. But I think I don't think he's that talented as a player. He's just a solid back that's going to get a lot of touches. And like you said, a poor man's David Montgomery. So if he has another boom week or two, I would see maybe if you could try and trade and get one of those high-end RBs that have kind of been underperforming as of recent. So, but I do like him rest of season.
All right, Brennan, I want to turn this back around on you. Who do you like the rest of the year? Who's your guy?
My dog is Kyron Williams. I think he's going to turn out to be the most valuable waiver wire pickup out of the whole season. You could say Puka Nacua so far, but I just say Kyron because the RB market is so scarce. There's so few like good RBs. I think he's going to be a top 10 guy rest of season. I'm that high on him. I just think that is if they don't trade for somehow to get JT or some stud like that. That's going to be wanting for a trade. But if they keep him, he's seeing usage like pretty much nobody else except besides like Christian McCaffrey or like Josh Jacobs, who's literally getting like 100%, 90-something% of their touches and workload. Volume is king in fantasy when it comes to RBs, and he's seen all the volume. He's basically been average as a player when it comes to his per touch stats, but he's literally seeing every snap over there in Los Angeles. So I like him rest of the season top 10.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think I'd even go as far to say he might be top 5 just based off of the shit we've seen at the RBs this year. I mean, Kyron Williams, don't get me wrong, dude is not that good of a football player, but if you're going to hand anybody the ball 30 times, that's the body I want in my starting lineup. I like Kyron Williams the rest of the year, and I think he will be the steal of the waiver wire.
Yeah, I don't know what Sean McVay's cooking up over there in Los Angeles, but son of a bitch, I want some of that. Everybody on this team is going crazy. Like, this team showed up to start the season. I thought for certain they were one of the worst teams in the league. They showed up day one with rolling out people I've never even heard of. Like, not literally, but like basically.
Yeah.
And we got Puka Nacua dropping 33 this past week. Kyron Williams looks like a first-round pick right now. Like, not talent-wise, I'm saying number-wise. He could have arguably been a first-round pick this year. And that's crazy. He might be the most valuable, as of now, he might be the most valuable waiver wire pickup this year, last year. And I don't even know about the year before, but probably the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he's looking pretty good. He's scoring touchdowns left and right. Rams running backs have always been valuable. You go back to Darrell Henderson, Cam Akers, the stretch of last year. Sean McVay likes having a workload back, so he's made that clear. I mean, Gurley, that's a different story, but the lead back in that offense always does good. So if he could sustain that throughout the whole year, he's going to be a high-end guy. It will be interesting to see if they try to trade for somebody. Like JT would be electric in that offense,
Yeah.
but as long as he could stay healthy with this workload that he's getting, I mean, he's not a huge guy, but if he's healthy, top 5, top 10 for sure.
Yep. I want to turn it back over to Sap now. Close this out here. Who you like the rest of the year?
So for the rest of the year, I was a little skeptical after his first game, but come his second, third, and fourth, he's looking like a beast. Adam Thielen, old Adam Thielen.
Oh boy,
this dude.
old dog.
He always had the talent. Didn't know if he was going to be able to put anything together with Bryce Young as his quarterback. And after his 30-something point performance with Andy Dalton, there was a lot of question marks going into this week. I really feel so much more confident that he's going to be able to keep this up. Solid flex player, in my opinion, a solid flex player. He's put up 15 points last week with Bryce Young. There was a lot of question marks around whether or not he could do that with Bryce Young, and he didn't score a touchdown. So, I mean, just the icing on the cake, he scores a solid over 20 points if he has a touchdown again. Like I've said in the past, I think that this offense is going to really struggle to run the ball. They're going to continually play from behind, and Adam Thielen's the number one target. So I'm thinking Adam Thielen's going to be a solid play for the rest of the season.
Yeah, man. I think I'm right on page with you. I mean, he could definitely be a top 20 guy rest of the season if he keeps this up. He's going to be the safety valve for that young quarterback. He's going to be where he needs to be. He's a PPR monster. And over the last 5 years, he's arguably one of the best red zone targets there is over the last 5 years. I mean, he's addicted to scoring touchdowns, and that's going to be hard to come by in this Carolina offense. but he's looking like a steal where you drafted him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not as high on Adam Thielen as y'all are. I think that he's started off the year really good. There has been some speculation about the Panthers are heavily in the market for like a wide receiver one right now. So considering that, I'd say Adam Thielen started off the year really hot. I wouldn't say he's trending, all the way up though, but I do think, as the year goes on, he's probably going to be somebody who you could put in your flex spot or something like that. And given where he was drafted, I mean, that's all you can ask of a guy like that, right?
Yeah.
But it does concern me how bad the Panthers offense is, and the chance that they go out and they get a top receiver to try to help Bryce Young. So due to those concerns, I am a little bit more skeptical than y'all. But again, given where you drafted him, it's like you can't go wrong. I feel like.
Yeah, and I feel like as of these past couple weeks, there's just no way he's not going to be in my lineup. Like I have to start him in my flex. I mean, maybe if you had A Chain, then I could see you putting A Chain in your
With
flex.
buys coming up, you mean, right?
Yeah, I'm saying that like, dude, he's giving you 20 points, 30 points, and 15 points. There's no way I'm not throwing him in my starting lineup.
Just real quick, Waddle or Thielen next week?
Oh gosh.
I feel comfortable with Thielen. I'm gonna go Thielen.
Let's go.
You're
You love to hear it.
You're nuts. Yeah, so
Waddle improved shit. All right.
let me collect myself after that horrendous fucking take. Yeah, I think, man, when you drafted him, yeah, he's gonna be a good flex guy. I did see the same thing you saw that came out tonight, Jock, about the Panthers being heavily in the wide receiver market. They want number one guy for Bryce Young. With that being said, Thielen is that safety valve kind of guy. He's that, that pasty, hardworking safety valve. Not that athletic, but he works hard kind of guy. And he's like a Bryce Young's type of best friend. So,
Like if somebody on the Panthers caught a flat tire in the middle of the night,
he's going hell.
Probably the first guy there.
He's going fucking hell for sure.
He's cooking breakfast for the whole team. And shit.
Yeah, like he's a guy you want to date your daughter. Let's just put that out there. But yeah, I think where you got him, you're happy with what he's doing so far. I'm not gonna say that like he's trending up rest of season just because I don't know who the Panthers are gonna want to get, what their impact's gonna be like. I know Chark has been hurt. DJ Chark has been hurt a little bit throughout the season. I think he's a good player. They have Terrace Marshall. I think he's a good player as well. That's young. That's still on the up. But
they got Jonathan Mingo.
I think he's a guy you'd like to have on your bench that you can plug in for these bye weeks coming up. Yeah,